Hey, what's good, folks? I am Cool Blue, and this, of course, is
Lady Blue.
And this is another episode of Blutalk, episode 2, and I'm gonna let my wife kick it off because this is her special guest, so I'm gonna let her introduce.
Oh, so we have a special guest here today, Christian, aka Dem Chakras, aka the owner of Sacral Body Care. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing this right.
Chakral Body Care.
Chakral Body Care. Y'all know I speak in remix sometimes.
I like it.
But yeah, so we have her here to talk about her beautiful aroma body care line, as well as all the other things she has going on. Yes. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and tell us about yourself.
Me? Here right now?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Hi, how are y'all? I am the wretched, righteous goddess herself, Dem Chakras, DEMCHAKRAS. I am CEO of Chakral Body Care. I am a motivational speaker. I do motivational minutes on Instagram and sometimes on TikTok. You get the ratchet over there on Twitter. I am a podcast hostess, a mom of one son, and I like to have fun.
Hey.
Well, man, thank you, man.
First of all, that's a beautiful intro.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've been working hard on that. 3 years. 3 years that took. 3 years.
Mm-hmm. So did you want to spark off the question or did you want me to spark off the question?
You spark it off because, like I said, it's your guest, and then we'll double back.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you like I asked our guests in the first episode.
Okay.
When was this beautiful brand established?
Ooh, child. It was at the top of the pandemic. I was working from home, and it was the toughest time for me mentally because I was bored. I'm like, I need something to do. When you're able to go outside and not even fellowship with people, but just to do things, you couldn't go to a park. You couldn't go, just even for a walk. They really wanted you in the house. And I was like, I'm going to do something with myself. I have a friend named Tanisha, Queen Poison on Instagram. She had a business at first where she was selling body butters, but she's an author. Like before she's anything, she's an author. And that is her main focus. So I was like, you know what? I'm loving these butters. I said, but I want to put my own little spin on it. I want to do aromatherapy. I want it to be something that I can use at home because I'm tired of being in the house. So I took my first stimulus check, and I opened Chakral Body Care. And it's been up ever since.
Hey.
There it is.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, because like I said, I'm a fan of what you do as well.
I appreciate it.
If y'all don't know, she up on TikTok. She up. And when I say up, like, I'm in there every morning on the toilet, cigarette like this. Like, let me see what the word of the day is. I'm about to say, and I'm in there. So I'm about to say, tell people how you got started with that and what really got you, into that group.
Now that was tough. It was 2018, I think. It was 2018. I was sitting in front of the laundromat, getting ready to wash clothes, and I had a mental breakdown. And it was the worst experience of my life. I had everybody pulling me 15 different ways, and I had not one boundary. And I was like, God, this is it. This is my 13th reason. I'm up out of here. I can't do it. Like, I cannot do it. And I said that I'm so good at motivating other people, but I don't talk to myself. So I was like, I'm going to turn my camera on, and I'm going to hold myself accountable for positive self-talk for 72 hours. So for 3 days, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it a week. And I made my first video, and it got like 12 likes. And I was like, well, if this message is affecting 11 other people or 12 other people, then I know that I'm doing something. Somebody is feeling something that I'm feeling. So I started talking to myself on the internet. Like I already had a regular Instagram profile. So I started just making these videos daily, and they just started going up, and people were reposting them, and they were saying different things like, oh, she's speaking to my soul. And I was just like, this is necessary. Like, I didn't think that it was necessary. I didn't think that anybody else needed to be encouraged. But I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it my life's mission to do the work of encouraging people. So that's really all I do. I just want to keep people motivated and encouraged. And it's been 4 years, and it's really, like, I can't imagine doing anything else.
That's good. Yeah. I love that. So, since we got some questions here, I'm going to ask one. Mm-hmm. So what do you mean by aromatherapy body care?
So Chakral Body Care is aromatherapy in the palm of your hands because I only use essential oils. So if you do the scientific work behind it, it is setting off a certain type of reaction in your brain when you use certain scents. So I started looking up what certain scents do to people when they smell them. And I was like, okay, well, this stuff don't stink. You know, like I'm not in the house, you know, just playing around with essential oils. And then I knew nothing about body butter. Like it was like a lotion thing for me. I knew about cocoa butter. I knew about shea butter, but I didn't know about a formulation to make things like this. Mm-hmm. So when I went down that rabbit hole, I said, oh, I could do this, a carrier oil, a couple butters, you know, different butters, and then an essential oil formulation. And it's not going to break people out. It's going to enhance their skin. It's going to make their skin feel good. Oh yeah, we're going to sell this. This is a business right here. So this literally takes you somewhere else. We have some of the roughest days where moms, we're dads, we're parents, we're, you know, siblings, we're something to somebody else, and we all need a break. And that's what Chakral Body Care is. Every scent is a break from something, or it's to enhance a certain experience. Like Fresh Cut is to enhance self-care for men. Handsome is to help a man on his daily exploration of life and help him to feel good about himself. Vacation is great for when you really want a break. Like, you know, you at work, people getting on your nerves, put a little bit in your hand for about 5 seconds, warm it up, literally cup your hands over your face, smell it for about 3 to 4 seconds, you somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And then by the time you come back to you be like, fuck it, I don't even care. Like, you know, whatever type of time they on. But aromatherapy is that it's therapy through scent.
Okay.
So.
Yes, I love that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let y'all know because I have ordered some for Hubster and I like Ember.
Yes.
Now, granted, now that we have these scents here, I'm going to take a chance to smell them before she goes so I know which one to order next time. Mm-hmm. But I will say, like, they are high quality products.
Thank you.
Because at first, I ain't going to lie. When I went on the website, I'm like, her price is her price. That's all like I'm saying is her price is her price. And it's not a bad price. It's not extra expensive, anything like that. It's just the thing of, I think people have cheapened their brand so
most
much
definitely
that you get used to the smaller prices. You're
like, yeah.
Like, you know, but then it's like, you could go into a Sephora somewhere and they selling a body butter that was made by a bunch of machinery for $40. And a lot of people wouldn't blink about it. So one of the things I will say, don't let the price scare you. It's not a bad price. It's really not. Like, if it's that bad,
if it's that bad, call me because everybody asks you, right? Everybody asks you. Everybody got their own thing going on. You know, DM me if it's that bad. You know, like
don't DM.
If you got lizard skin, I'm gonna tell you pay the price, but I might take the shipping off for you. You know, I might be like, listen, all right. Let me help your lizard skin. I'm gonna go ahead.
Make sure y'all.
Oh yeah, because the price gonna be the price whether you like it or not.
Because I will say because Kenny was like, oh, we might have to re-up on this body, but he definitely was like, oh, we might have to re-up on.
I'm a creature of habit, so it's like when I kind of find something that I like, I stick to it. So it's like I had a shea butter lady, and it was like 1 billion people could have sold me shea butter, and I'm like, nah, I got a shea butter lady. They're like, you ain't tried mine, but no, I got a shea butter lady. Right. And I'm like, and she's still underneath the 83. Right. And if you listening, Miss Teresa, I have not cheated you. I have not gone anywhere. It's just that, like,
look, we still spin a good grip with Miss
Teresa.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, if we don't catch her underneath the 83, we catch her at 32nd Street on Saturdays. You already know.
That's what I'm talking about.
But like we buy them, like I'm buying like 3-4 at a time. Yeah. So it was like she was like, I got these body butters. I'm like.
Right, but is that Miss Teresa body butter?
I was like, they hurt, but I'm like, the consistency of is what kind of like I was like.
It was the consistency in the
I'm like, oh, wait a minute, like might hurt something.
No, I like that. Fresh cut. Yes, I love it. I love it when people love it. I love it.
So I mean, like that, like I said, that amazes me in itself. And then, like I said, I'm a creature of habit. So if I'm opening up to it, I'm like, yeah, you got me sold.
I knew that I had a business when I could get my son, who's only 5, interested in putting this on. That's when I knew I had something because he's like, oh, mommy, this smells good. And he wants to wear it every day. Like if I'm putting it on, he go, can I have some? And I was like, oh yeah, if the 5-year-old said it's good, then it's good. I got a business right here. Yes.
Because kids do not lie.
At all.
As much as you may want them to.
At all. Children are the most honest people you ever meet in your life. That's why I'm one and done. Okay, can't do it. Speaking of, I might be a tad bit off here, but I'm about to say you have a course come.
Yes,
correct?
yes, I do.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So, Sacral Circle is a course for women only, and I want to branch out to men at some point, but women are really who need this. Sacral Circle. So, I deal with the 7 chakras, which are the 7 energy points of the body, and the sacral chakra deals with your sexuality, your pleasure, fulfillment, and passion of your life, which I feel most women, especially Black women, don't tap into. So, if somebody wasn't going to give me a platform to teach, I was going to make one. Right. So I literally made a course. So Sacral Circle is a 6-week course that I invite women to take to tap into the parts of them that they're probably either ignoring or just ignorant in. So it could be fulfillment, but not of like a sexual fulfillment in life, doing the things that you said you wanted to do and actually doing those things, how to get started in those things. But we talk about it from an internal aspect. When you don't feel good, when you feel scared, when you're having second thoughts, when the people around you aren't supportive, how do you heal in that space? I break it down to the bare, I'm talking the nitty gritty. We be in there crying, we be in there cussing, we be in there bonnets on, bra off, be in there in our night clothes, like pouring it out on Sundays. We're going to switch to Sunday mornings because it works better for women, but Sunday nights at 8:00, we was in there bearing our soul. I keep it very small, just 6 women. But those 6 women in those 6 weeks, the transformation from day 1, week 1 to week 6, my God. And I'm so excited for this year because it's something that I've put my heart and my soul into, but I've also now put my healing into. So as I learn things, I'm able to teach women something else, you know? So as I elevate, because I'm only 28, I'm so young, like people don't even know that they like, you know, you got like 70 years of wisdom on you. And I'm like, I grew up in such a place of so many different powerful women that I'm blessed to have the things that I have, you know? So Sacral Circle is literally me teaching everything my great aunt taught me, everything, even my mama, you know, is still teaching me to this day, or even seeing them in healing because I deal with the energy points. So if I see them going through something, I'm like, okay, that's her sacral chakra. Okay, that's our solar plexus. How can I take this and give it to somebody else? I had a woman in my class that was 45 years old, and she was like, honestly, I didn't think I could learn anything from you, you know, because you're so young. She's like, but baby, you taught me things about myself that I don't think I would have ever tapped into. And that made me feel good. So that's what Sacral Circle is. It's a space for women to heal, and it's a safe space. There's no judgment. I don't allow anybody to pass judgment. You can't, things that we talk about in class, unless you calling her on the phone to holler at your homegirl, it does not leave that course. It is a safe space for women to heal.
Now, can we put value on that? Because like you just touched on something that I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily get into, is that people put value on education and age.
Yes.
So it's like, if you aren't of a certain age, people don't feel like they have to tap in as much, or you don't know as much because you haven't necessarily crossed a barrier that they feel like you know, like, could you, like, I mean, granted, like I said, you've elaborated on it a bit, but could you know, kind of put your stamp on it and tell folks, because it's like you said, you came from that circle and you had so many individuals around you who...
I think that the thing that people miss the mark about as they grow up is that everybody's situation is different, right? And some people don't experience trauma until they in their 30s or until they in their 40s. It's smooth sailing in your 20s because you don't give a damn. You know, so even the things that you did feel a way about, you really didn't feel a way about because either you were emotionally ignorant and didn't know how to feel a way about it, or the emotion that you were given it wasn't the emotion that it deserved. So most people, when they're initially sad about something, they bring it off as anger, you know? So a lot of the time with me being the way that I am, like I went through trauma, like at an early age, and it's not the trauma that most women go through. Like some of the women in the group, you know, have expressed things about like abuse and things. I've never experienced that, but in education, in empathy, in empirical living, I can sit back and say, okay, I don't know this sister's story, but she gonna tell me something that I can tap into from what I do know, and we gonna work together to solve this. You know, because if I don't know it, I know somebody who does know it, and I'm gonna go talk to them. I ain't got to say no names, even if it's just me going to God, like, listen, God, you know her struggle. Like, let's just give it to me real quick. Like, you know, hand me what I need to give her in order for her to be able to elevate forward. Like, use me as the messenger. Like, that's what I consider myself. I'm never the person I'm not trying to heal you. You know, like, I'm not telling you, like, oh, baby girl, I can heal you. You just come to me. I got you. I got all the oils. I got everything you need. Like, that's not me. But my goal, my overall goal in life is to give the message. Like, people feel comfortable talking to me. So I'm going to take that, and I'm not going to take advantage of that. You know? So I think that as women grow up, they have never met a safe space. It's just that I'm 28. Right. So that's what trips them up. Like it's not necessarily education. It's not necessarily anything other than ignorance. A lot of people just don't know. And when you do know at this age, it's intimidating.
And that's basically what I was trying to hit on.
It's intimidating.
It's like, okay, cool, like you 28. Like, And that's basically what I was trying to hit at, because it's like people will jab and poke and jab at certain things, and it's like they'll give you their life lessons on a billion. And just like how you said, like there's a lot of women who emotionally don't tap into that area, and then it's like they go throughout their entire lives. Like I know, like just being in the workspace, like dealing with women that's like in their 50s and in their 60s, and it's like,
and they never had a safe space to cry. Ain't never had one person they could say like, listen, I'm angry, without somebody telling them you don't have the right to be angry right now. There's a lot of women who are told to shut up when they were crying. And that little girl, like Sacral Circle is really just me being 28, teaching the little girl and all these women. You know, because that's where we go. We repress back to when we first started to feel things. And usually it's at a very young age. So it's me speaking life into that little black girl, that little brown girl, that little white girl, whomever it is, because everybody's welcome. For me to say like, hey, I'm stepping in. Like, let's look at it like your first grade teacher. We going, and I'm telling you, we real remedial. Like, we start from the bare minimum. I tell them from jump, this is a chakra. And then we go from there. You see what I'm saying? And most women, I'm going to be honest with you, most women don't want to come back after the third week because they're like, listen, it's too heavy for me. Like, you didn't just, like, what you didn't just opened up a part of me that I've never experienced before. And like I tell them, if you don't work past this, this will be your end. Right. You know, like don't make this where the story just kind of cut off and then you go back to living your regular ass life. Like, come over here, get over that, you know, and I'm not forcing you to get over it. I'm forcing you to work through it because I'm not going to let you stop. Because you don't come back to class on week 3. I'm calling you week 3. Hey, sis, are you okay? Right. You know, I'm not coming to you like, oh, you gave up on yourself. No. What made you say this is too heavy for me to carry right now? Right. And if it's, I can't deal with this right now because I ain't got money for groceries. The women that pay for the course, that money don't go in my pocket. I'm giving that money back to that sister who can't put groceries in her house that week. You see what I'm saying? I can't afford daycare for my son this week. Okay, well, how far do you live from me? I got a 14-year-old sister on break for the summer. Bring that baby over here so you can get these 8 hours at break. Like, that's how we running things. So that money never goes back into my pocket. That money circulates back into Sacral Circle for these women to feel like they have a community. Like, I don't care how old you are, I want you to be comfortable with me. And that's always what I'm striving for.
It's crazy. Like, so we had Cool Green on, and it's crazy how much it's like he was a man for it's literally the same message. It's like he was like a man for the people, and you're like a woman for the people. Yeah. And it's like, you do a lot of things that's like based around, you know, like building up, you know, like women and confidence and education and, you know, just experience of, but it's like me being a guy, I'm not too much so where it's like, oh, you know what, like this for women, like let me just go ahead and like tune or whatever.
Who took the Sacral Circle experience, I will say it's definitely a really good course to reflect on. And you know, I feel like, again, back to like relatability, like in the last episode, I feel like you're not ready to open up to women because you don't think men can relate. Yeah. And I think you don't talk. So when you talk to us, you're talking about like maybe like, oh, take care of your coochie, such and such and such, things like that. But in a sense, like, men need that too. Like, and I'm not saying this to force you to, you know, do it or anything like that. But I just love how, like, you look at it like, oh, it's just women only. But it's like, I remember going through the course, and I remember you didn't really say anything gender specific in the class. Yeah. So that's why I was like, oh, wow. Like, so you wasn't planning on opening us up to men series? I want to so bad. The thing about most men is, from the men that have inquired, so you going to teach all 6 weeks? It's not going to be now one man to come in here and say anything to me. And it's like, yeah, because I need you to listen to a woman. Like, I know that you can relate to a man,
but I need you to listen to a woman.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because he's going to tell you from whatever space he's in. He can relate to you. I can't relate to you in being a man, but I can relate to you when I'm upset. I can relate to you when something's going on in my life. I can relate to being broke. I can relate to being broken. We can relate in that sense. So I don't need you to see me as your mirror. I just need you to see me. Yeah. And I need you to hear me. And I need for you to take in what I'm saying. So if I could get some men to come and listen, if you can come on in and listen.
Yeah, like, when I said I wanted to, like, start it off with, like, y'all, like, I'm like, it's not necessarily about just, like, bringing people in that you know. It's like, it's that authenticity of Baltimore. Like,
yes.
It's different. And I know people say it all the time, but it's like, it's different. It's like, when people, like, we shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
And it's like,
This the toughest city to grow up in. I don't know what go on in Chicago. I don't know what go on in Detroit. I don't know what go on anywhere else. But I know how tough this city is, because this city will suck you in, will chew you up, and spit you right back out without intention. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, nobody intends to do you that way. But this is a hard city. This city has been through corruption. This city has been through all types of crime. This city has been through heartbreak. This city has been through destruction. So you see all these things happening, and you still see people in the midst of this healing. You see what I'm saying? Like, let that person give it to you straight, because they healing in the midst of everything they're going through, on top of living in a city that don't give a damn about them. You know, even though the city love you, the city don't give a fuck about you. We'll walk right past you. And it's not intentional, but everybody in this city going through something. I don't care what nobody say. Even on their best day, it's something affecting somebody. You know?
Yep. Exactly. So I want to go back to one of the questions that I have.
Yes.
So you've already explained to us the difference between a body butter versus other shea butters and things like that. Let's see. I want you to tell us your favorite part about entrepreneurship and your least favorite part about entrepreneurship.
I don't have a favorite. I don't. It ain't no part of it I like. I don't like none of it. I love what I do. I love helping people. Maybe that's the part. Selfishly speaking, I like making money. Like, I'm an abundant person. I love the fact as though I can live comfortably through having a business and still be able to help people. But to be honest, I don't have a favorite part, because it has been such a challenge. I didn't know shit about having a business. Like, not one. Nobody helped me. I couldn't call a homegirl. I couldn't phone a friend. With nobody here, to help me. So it's been a lot of Google. It's been a lot of YouTube videos. It's been a lot of going to other events and just not even setting up to then, but just seeing how people run a business. I did not know about how to set up for a pop-up shop. I didn't know what the hell a pop-up shop was at one point, So I was like, why is people popping up shops? Then you pop it down. What you do with all the stuff? Like, what happened? So I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. So I think my least favorite part is the ignorance that I have in that. Like, because I still don't know shit. Like, I've been doing it for 2 years, and I still know that there's a lot to learn. But my favorite part, honestly, is like getting reviews from people. Because I'm always in my head about things. Like, I know the formulation is not going to like break anybody out or anything like that, but I'm like, is it working with their pheromones? Do they put it on and be like, no, this shit kind of stink. Like, I don't, I don't. So when I've never gotten a bad review, thank God, but to hear reviews from people. But even if it is like, oh, sister, you could put a little bit more shea butter in the next set. Like, I want to hear all of that. So the feedback from it is definitely my favorite part in helping people. But my least favorite part, baby, is all of it. Waking up in the morning and it's 3 orders and I got to go to work because, I still got a 9 to 5. Got to get this to the post office. Then I got to go get my son. But then I got a box sitting at the post office. I'm like, I'm over it. Fix it, Jesus, because I don't want it.
So I also want to talk about like the order you should use the products, because the last time for our order we just ordered the body butter,
right,
and which I gotta order some more because I've been out for like almost a month.
Yes,
get back.
Make it happen. Let's do something.
And but one of the things I noticed is that you also have body oil.
Yes.
So do you recommend using a body oil with the body butter, or is there a particular order you should use them, or it's going to be too slippery they might slide out their sheets?
No, not really. No, I mean, I use them either, together, or I use them separately. Like, if I know I'm going to the beach, I might put on oil instead of butter, just because, like, I don't want it kind of, like, sticking to me when you get, on the sand. Yeah. Mango butter and shea butter are very dense butters. Like, even though mango butter is kind of a light butter without any type of like arrowroot powder or any type of ingredient to kind of help to soak that into your skin. It is kind of like sitting on your skin for damn near a couple hours sometimes, you know. So I don't want to go to the beach with that or even walk around with that in my clothes. In the wintertime, I highly suggest just butter only. Like if you're super dry skin, butter and oil, but really just butter. I'm big on oil. I love my oil blend, like shamelessly plugging myself. I love my oil blend.
What you here for.
Right.
I was about to say, shoot.
Rice bran oil is such a good oil. Like a lot of people don't know about rice bran oil. So I'm a big fan of, if anybody recommends anything, I'm like, get the oil. Like if you need, get the oil. I recommend the butter for people with eczema. Put that on and then put on the oil to get that, like, you know, double penetration of moisture. But for the most part, you can use it together, use it separately, use it out the shower, put it on your elbows, keep it with you, you know, throughout the day. I want to make smaller ones for people to keep with them because I know 4 ounces is small, but maybe like a little 2 or 1 ounce to keep in their purse. But you can use it however you want to use it. I'm going to recommend you buy everything. Right. Do all of that. Buy all of it. Do all that.
That's why I ran out so fast because I was of course shea butter my body and I'm like, then I'll put a little bit more.
My boyfriend, I tell him, listen, we go to the barbershop, right? Just leave the jar there and tell him everybody head. I want you to put it in everybody head. I don't care what they're allergic to. Put it in the head. Put it, just slide a little bit on there. And so many men are coming to me and they're like, hey, you know, like, I went to the barber and the barber had the jar in there. And I was like, oh, yo, this smell kind of good. You know, like, you got something for the women? And I'm like, what do you need? I am your body butter plug. I got you. You know, like, come over here. Let me help. I was in the hair store today and the guy was like, you know, asking the man behind the counter, do you recommend a good beard oil? I said, come on, follow me, brother. Follow me to my house. Like, dangerously. I'm like, I have a beard oil that's going to surpass every beard oil in here. I just need $20 of your dollars. And he was like, oh, no. I'm like, you in here looking at 2 different bottles. I got all this in one bottle. Like, come holler at me. Mm-hmm. And now I think I got a forever customer because he was in the car like, and you said put it right here with a little bit right here. I said, listen, bro, this patches get ready to be gone. You get ready to be good. You get ready to be good.
Right.
Oh man.
Did you have any questions for?
I do, but it kind of because it's like you guys were kind of like hitting in a different direction. So I like, and a lot of the questions I had was a little deep, a little heavy.
Go with it. Go
for it. So in light of everything that happened, because you talked about, you know, like your son and running the business and everything like that. So if you care to elaborate, how, like, on a week in, week out basis, how does running the business and doing the course fade with your day-to-day hustle bustle type, you know?
I just be like, shout out to my mama, right? Like, shout out to my mama. My mama is a disciplined woman. She got a backup to the backup to the backup, okay? Right. And she keeps a planner for everything. My mom was Baltimore City Police until she recently retired, was BCPD, juvenile justice, and she was on the SWAT team. So everything that I've ever done has been meticulous. So I have a schedule that is like really down to the hour. And because I have anxiety.
God bless you.
Right? You know? Right? I have anxiety, so I can't really adhere to those numbers directly. I'm like, I have to give myself freedom to, you know, move around. But like, I know that if I get off of work at a certain time, I usually have like an hour and a half to go to the gym to get that time in because I have to prioritize myself. I have to pick my son up. And, you know, really things work in my favor because it's all kind of within a vicinity of each other. And I'm just like, you know, like this is synchronicity. Like this is things working in my favor. So really it's been just a blessing and just being reared in taking care of your shit. Like, I've never been the type of person, and it's a blessing and a curse for me. I've never been the type of person where I can just kind of go with the flow. I don't know, even though I'm a free-flowing person, like, very much free-flowing in my energy, my time is expensive. Very expensive. So throughout the week, I'm home by a certain time. These orders are done by a certain time. I have business hours throughout the week. You cannot talk to me about Chakral Body Care after 6 p.m. throughout the week. It's not going to happen. An order will not be filled after 6 p.m. throughout the week because I need time for me. Right. I need time for my son. I need time to, you know, to be a girlfriend to my boyfriend. I need to be able to do all these different things. So it's really shout out to my mama because without her, I would be running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
And it's crazy that you say that because it's like, even with us having similarities, it's like, it's so many people that come from so many different walks of life where it's like, and that's one thing because it's like, angry black woman nerve.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you just sat back and gave me an entire spill about your mom and whatever the case may be, in the habits that she had that led you into the habits that and it's like, but people don't see that,
right?
And that's where I try to say when I was talking to, like I said, going back to Cool Green, the relatability of, and that's the thing when it comes to like people that sit in that space. It's like, okay, cool. Now you see this, but it's like you hopping in front of the camera and saying this.
Yeah.
Now the world sees it's like I'm meticulous.
Yeah.
But I'm meticulous for a reason, and it's like black people have good habits.
Oh my God! Can you say it one more time for the people in the back? What? Black
people have good habits.
And that gets overlooked so much. People think that black people are the most ignorant, right? They are the people who don't have a plan. They can't be consistent.
1,000.
And you show up and then you show out, and then your bare minimum is somebody else's, maximum. And it's great. Like, black people, we really the best to ever do it. It might look a little chaotic while we doing it, but that's the method to our madness. Like, kind of like sit back and like let us do us, Yeah, no, black people got good habits. We need to put that on the shirt. You heard it here first.
And that kind of leads me into Baltimore as great habits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When I'm telling you this season, So Baltimore is crazy. Like I'm about to say, I'm not hating on nobody. I love the DMV, the whole whatever, but Baltimore, we don't get that spotlight.
We don't.
And it's like, on top of everything that you said, like, with being with black men, black women, you black woman from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
West Baltimore,
it's that extra hump that you kind of gotta like shave off, where it's like, oh, you're a black woman. Oh, you're a black woman from Baltimore.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. It's like you the minority, but then you the minority to the minority.
Sure.
Because as black women, especially a black woman from Baltimore, we're looked at as like, the back of her feet dirty, she got bonnet on her head all day and a baby on her hip. Like, that's what they think every woman is. And it's just like, and it's like, you don't know me though. You don't know that every morning I wake up and I get to it. Because like growing up, I watched my family hustle, but I watched the fruits of that labor. And I'm like, I can do it in today's time with today's technology and what it is that I know.
Right.
Oh, we about to show out. You think we was taken care of before? I'm really about to put us on. I'm really about to give you something to be proud of.
1,000.
Yeah, that's how I handle things.
Yeah. So I won't take away from it. Anything else that you want to elaborate on business-wise before we close out?
Don't be ashy, y'all. Just get some Chakral Body Care. Don't be ashy. Don't be stressed. I got y'all. Like, I want to be very professional and say, like, purchase Chakral Body Care. But what it really boiled down to is that y'all need somebody to relate to. I was ashy. I was stressed out. And I made the resolution. Get the product.
It smells good.
It smells so good.
Consistency.
It smells so. You can share it with your husband. You can share it with your side chick. You can share it with everybody. Your baby, your barber. Give a little bit to. It's the gift that keep on giving. Get it.
Okay, madam. Final thoughts. We just gonna go down the road. I'm gonna let you kick it off, and then we'll end up back with me.
Final thoughts is that I love the fact that everybody's just dropping gems that are hella similar, but it's all in their own vernacular. I love that. But also, I actually want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
So I know for a second, Chakral Body Care wasn't around.
Right.
So I want you to talk to us about the beauty of starting over.
Ooh, you have to be okay with fucking up. Like, and that's as explicit as I can put it. It's so true, because you don't beat yourself up by saying like, oh, I made a mistake.
That's my final thought.
Oh, I made a mistake, or oh, I did something wrong. You really be like, oh, I didn't fuck the money up. I didn't fuck my household up. I didn't like ruin my life. And you beat yourself up so bad. And when I got to that point, it was just like, these are all limiting beliefs that I can't believe in, because that's going to force me to stop. Yeah. And like, I'm just thankful that I have a group of people around me who kept me going. And then just previous customers that were saying like, I don't have anything to wear right now because you don't, like your business isn't up and running. And that made me feel like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm obligated to anybody, but it's like, if this is a part of your purpose, you're going to continuously be bothered by it until you walk in it. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's what it was. It was consistently being surrounded by the energy that was entrepreneurship. So it's like, I have no choice but to do this now. So that's really what it was. I just was okay with making the mistake of being like, listen, I'm giving up because it's not what I want. And then it was just like, but it's not about you. Mm-hmm. You know, it's never been about you. This is, when you formulate it, it's about, you know, what you want it to be. But this business here, it's not about you. And that's what I go with.
Like, we having the same interview all over again. I swear to God. Like, he just said that, like, the same interview. Like, he said, like AC Green sat here and said, it's not about
It's not.
me.
Yeah.
You are a servant to people.
Yep.
And it's like, people lose that in translation so much.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but
no,
I'm about
you're
to say,
good.
let you get to your final
No, you're good. I think that if I could have a final thought, it's in a microwave society, just be yourself. Like, that's what it really boils down to. Everybody feels like they have to do what everybody else is doing simply because everybody feels like that's where the money is. Mm-hmm. I'm not going where the money is. I'm going where I'm guided. You know, I'm going where I'm divinely protected. I'm going where my money is, you know, where my abundance is. I'm not following the crowd. Be able to go against the grain and be so okay with the fact as though people are not going to like you when you do what you're supposed to do. You know, like, authenticity means everything. Integrity means everything. And on top of authenticity and integrity, intention means it all. You know, so just be you. I always say be who you be unapologetically and just walk in your light. And don't let anybody tell you that that's not your light. Don't let them dim your light. Don't let them turn off your light, because they will do that as well. And never feel like you have to fight for a space that you know you deserve to be in. Stand there, stand your ground. And when they get uncomfortable, baby, they will leave. That's my final thought.
Time is currency. How you spend your money, how you spend your energy is a reflection of you.
Yes.
I'm about to say, like, once again, speechless. I'm good. I'm good. This has definitely been necessary. This episode is so Baltimore. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But like I said, once again, I am Cool Blue, and this is
Lady Blue.
Yes.
Episode 3 on the way, and the topic is
inadequacy versus anxiety.
Baby. Oh, so they say
a lot of y'all be claiming y'all have anxiety, but that's really your fear of inadequacy.
There we go.
That's all.
Yes.
I like y'all.
Tune in.